The Knicks just finished getting their asses kicked by the Boston Celtics, and I'm here to break it down, man. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel. Queens forever. Queens get the money. New York forever. New York and nowhere. And listen, this is the second Saturday in a row where it's prime time on ABC. It's not an ESPN. It's not a TNT game. This is Channel 7 on ABC. And for the second weekend in a row, we took an L. And this time around, we took an L to the Boston Celtics, beating us 131 to 104. I'm a little disappointed, man. I'm a little disappointed. I mean, we did fight back and we cut it back down to 3, but then Jason Tatum went crazy in the third quarter. There's a lot of different ways I can break down this game. I can really just talk about Peyton Pritchard and, like, are we ever going to play defense against him? I could talk about the way that the Knicks look against the other contenders in the Eastern Conference. But what I want to start off with, what I took away from this game. And the biggest thing that I took away from this game is kind of how much we're dependent on OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson. Like, in the first half, did you guys see how many times Jason Tatum broke the defense and had he was just strolling down the middle of the paint for a layup or for a dunk? Did you see the amount of times where, like, the amount of time that Jason Tatum broke down his defender and was able to go straight into the paint for a layup or a dunk, that could have been stopped by OG for perimeter defense. Again, you're never going to stop a great offensive player, but an elite defender, their number one job is to slow the offensive player on the opposing team. We have OG Anunoby for that. So if Jason Tatum was able to break down OG Anunoby on the perimeter, then he's going to have to go into the paint, and we have Mitchell Robinson for a defensive anchor. We don't have Mitchell Robinson right now, and our defensive anchor is Cat. And Cat didn't have a good game tonight. Josh Hart, more times than not, was switched on to Jason Tatum, and we saw what that looked like. Like, I don't want to say, I don't know, man. It's just a little scary about how, I don't want to say that we are super dependent on OG and Mitch, but after tonight's game, that's what it's kind of looking like, man. And OG Anunoby, before the game, the telecast, I believe Malika Andrews and Bob Myers and Kendrick Perkins, they were just talking, and they said that OG Anunoby, he was like, it was a possibility that he could have played today, which I was a little surprised. I thought that right foot sprain, or whichever foot it was, I thought it was going to last a little longer. As far as that, you guys the Knicks, just sit down OG. Sit down OG until after All-Star break. We don't want to take any risks. And OG Anunoby's already not injury prone, but he has a little bit of injury. He just has an injury history. So just sit his butt down. Wait until after the All-Star break, and then we're back. Mitchell Robinson, yeah, he just got cleared to play 5-on-5 contact recently, I believe. Like I said, there's so many different ways where I can go with this video. One thing I do want to mention is, like, it was pretty apparent that the starting five, they kind of just didn't have it tonight. Jalen Brunson ended up with 36 points, 10 of 18 from the field, 3 of 7 from three-point line, converting all 13 of his free throws, dishing out 5 assists in the 36 minutes that he played. 36 points, if you look at the box score, 10 of 18, not bad, but it just didn't feel like it was an impactful 36 points. And then Josh Hart, not great. Mikal Bridges, not great, of course. Cat had a horrific game. But it's interesting. Cat didn't really take a lot of field goal attempts. He ended up with 9 points, but he only took 8 shots. He was 3 of 8 from the field, and he took 2 3-pointers. And he converted 1 of his 2 free throws. He grabbed 9 rebounds, dished out 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block, and he played 28 minutes. Now, prior to the game, they were talking about how Cat's knee was giving him issues, and he was doubtful up until game time, and then he decided to play. But I don't know, man. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if the starting five didn't have it, then what is all this talk that we have about campaign, about Precious Achiuwa picking up the slack? Now, since OG has been out, Precious Achiuwa has been inserted into the starting five, so Precious Achiuwa is not coming off the bench. But even so, and even with that, the main starting five, Mikal, Josh, Jalen, and Kat, they didn't have it tonight. So why weren't Precious Achiuwa? Why wasn't Campaign able to pick up the slack? Campaign, 14 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 0 of 2 from three-point line, converting 2 free throws. Campaign had a decent game in the 20 minutes. It wasn't a terrible game, But I just wanted to see a little bit more. And Precious Achiuwa, like, come on, are we kidding? Are we kidding ourselves? 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3-point line, converting 1 of his 2 free throws, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in 33 minutes. And literally the first play of the game, literally the first bucket of the game was Jason Tatum hitting Karl Anthony Towns with the in and out and just completely baptizing Precious Achiuwa at the rim with a 2-handed slam. And Precious Achiuwa is supposed to be a good defender, right? But that's one thing I want to mention. Another thing I want to mention: Peyton Pritchard. I kind of mentioned this at the top of the video. Peyton Pritchard ended the game with 25 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 6 of 8 from 3-point line, 1 of 2 from free throws, dishing out 4 assists, grabbing 4 rebounds in 27 minutes. I think Peyton Pritchard is averaging 14 points for the season. By the time he hit his 5th, 6th shot, why weren't we able to play any defense on him? I don't know. Some things were just completely absurd. At halftime, he ended with 14 points, and he was 5 of 8 from the field. Like I said, for the season, he's averaging 13.9, and then I think by the time the fourth quarter started, or maybe like halfway through the third quarter, he had 22 points. He was 5 of 7 from the field. Like, tonight was a career night for Peyton Pritchard. And all of this that I'm talking about, it just leads me to the conversation that's been around the Knicks. The narrative around the Knicks is that, like, yeah, they're a good team, and when they're fully healthy, they're a good team. They have a good record, that they're in the East. But then when it comes down to the elite teams in Boston Celtics, you better bet your ass that the Boston Celtics are a elite team. What are they going to do? And we ended up getting blown out. And yeah, we did end up cutting it to 3, but just we weren't able to get over the hump. And again, man, it kind of just brings me back to the whole OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson. And if that's what you're dependent on, that's a little scary. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers, I did a live yesterday where I was talking about the NBA trade deadline. Go check that out. But we were talking about all these different teams that made a trade. The Clippers got Bogdanovich, obviously Luka AD, that crazy trade. But one of the low-key trades that people weren't really talking about was the Cleveland Cavaliers getting DeAndre Hunter from the Atlanta Hawks. Cleveland Cavaliers are number 1 in the East this season. I don't know. We're going to see by the time the playoffs come, however far they get. We're going to see if the season was fugazi or not. But as far as right now in this moment, they're the number 1 seed in the East, and you can arguably say that they got better. Added DeAndre Hunter. So what does that look like for the Knicks? When everybody's healthy, Cleveland Cavaliers, we do have to take them serious. They are a serious team in the Eastern Conference, and that's one of the teams that we might have to match up with in the playoffs. I don't know, man. Like, we might be able to say that we could throw this. It's a 1 game, and Boston Celtics, they're number 2 in the East. They're, of course, one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, and we don't have OG, we don't have Mitch. Like, there's a lot of excuses that you can make, and that's fine. But at the same time, it's like, I kind of wanted to see just a little bit more. The second Saturday in a row, where the first time we lost to the Lakers, and then tonight we lost on Boston, and this is prime time, ABC, Channel 7. Well, back home in New York is Channel 7. And you come out with this type of effort. And the last time I put out a post-game video, I believe it was after the Denver game, and I talked about the next 7 games for the Knicks. And starting with that Denver game, which we won, I ended up with a record of, ideally, it would have been 5-2, but we could also come out with a record of 2-5. So starting with Denver, which we won, so we're 1-0. And then it was the Lakers last Saturday, and we lost, so we're 1-1. And then Monday and Tuesday, we caught those 2 W's against Houston and Toronto, so we're 3-1 right now. And then Boston tonight, we lost, so we're 3-2. And then coming up on Tuesday, we got Indiana, and then the last game before the All-Star break is Chicago. So far with a record of 3-2 in the last 5 with 2 games remaining, Indiana and Atlanta. Tuesday's game is going to be on TNT. Definitely want to see a little bit better of an effort. But I mean, man, to wrap up today's video, is a little disappointing. I just wanted to see them come out with a little bit more grit, and it just seems like after the first few shots that the Boston Celtics hit, we were just deflated, and I don't understand why. Something to keep an eye on, man. I feel like these injuries are racking up for Cat. Before today's game, you got talking about the knee, and then he has that sprained thumb, he has that bone chip in his finger, and I don't want to say that it's because of Coach Tibbs and the amount of minutes that he plays. I don't want to say that at all. Maybe these things are just like freak injuries, maybe. But I'm so glad that the All-Star break is coming up, man. We only have 2 more games, so hopefully no crazy stuff happens. Nobody lands on nobody's foot. There's no crazy injuries because Cat, oh man, just going down the rest of the season after the All-Star break. I mean, the good thing, everything. This is a stream of consciousness right now. I mean, we're gonna get Mitchell Robinson back. It's just gonna be such a huge relief for Cat. The addition of Mitchell Robinson after the All-Star break, whenever that is gonna be such a huge relief. And I'm so glad for Cat, man. I'm so glad that he's been busting his butt this entire season, proving people wrong, and I'm very happy that Cat's gonna get some sort of relief. But guys, that's it for today's video. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Let me know what you guys think about the Knicks' effort tonight. Leave it in the comments. Were you disappointed by a particular player? Maybe Mikal Bridges, maybe Cat, Josh Hart. Did you guys agree with me with campaign and Precious Achiuwa? The fact that you guys are supposed to be some sort of like boost. Campaign for tonight was supposed to be some sort of boost off the bench. Precious Achiuwa being inserted into the starting 5, like, I get it, you're not coming off the bench, but still, you should be able to help us out. Leave that in the comments. But until next time, you guys know the drill. You know the vibes. Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The Deuce is Loose for co-MVP. OG Anunoby for a speedy recovery. And Taj Gibson, man, even though the chatter around your name is that we could do something else with the buyout market, it's always going to be Taj Gibson for president. So salute to you, Taj Gibson for president. But until next time, I'll check you guys out in the next video. Peace.